another episode of the world's greatest news and reviews. On today's show, we're going to be talking about Captain America Civil War. Fucking finally! We've gotten to see Captain America Civil War. Spoiler alert, we're going to talk about everything, heavy into spoilers. Everything, because that was a pretty awesome movie. Alright, so let's just get right into it. I kind of want to go around first and ask everybody, whose side were you on going into the movie? I haven't seen it yet.
Captain America.
Team Cap?
Yeah, all the way, Team Cap. Because I didn't feel like that they should have a restriction on what they do. What they were doing was fine the way it was, and that they shouldn't be controlled by any kind of government agency.
John, what team were you?
Team Captain America. Well, I don't know. Definitely Team Captain America. I believe that I just always went for the hero, and I didn't know what the story was going to be about. And once I saw that the way they had it, I was even more on Team Cap.
Jeremy?
Captain America also, and it was because, like he said, shouldn't be regulated. I think they should have formed like a group like the Avengers to police all the metahumans. Police your own kind of thing, and then if, of course, it came down to it, governments could step in, but not in the initial stages.
Mm-hmm. I was Team Iron Man. Boo me. I was Team Iron Man because I think there's a really good graphic novel that kind of tells the story, and it's going to be a television show on Cinemax here. It's called The Boys, and it's written by the people who wrote Preacher. So Garth Ennis, Steve Dillon, I believe, really, really good, and it kind of shows what happens with superheroes who aren't trained, who don't go under any kind of training the way law enforcement or military do, anything like that, and they just have superpowers, and there's a lot of collateral damage that, just happens all the time. And this movie touched on that really well, but because of that, I feel if you have a 15-year-old kid who has the destructive ability of any army, it's dangerous for him just to be running out there doing his own thing. So that's why I was Team Iron Man. But I think you all agree the movie did a really good job of showing you both points of view, making you go back and forth. Like even when there's a scene where Tony Stark is talking with Steve, and Steve brings up, well, what do they want to send us somewhere we don't want to go? Or what do we want to go? So and then at that point I was like, oh, fuck.
He's got a point.
Check. All right. Let's see where we go from here. So yeah, I think they did. Did you guys like that? How the conflict was shown? Did you guys enjoy that? It was
because like on the opposite side of where I stood, they did a very good job of showing why you would want to keep these guys from running amok on planet Earth. So I definitely can understand the argument. Still Captain America.
Right.
Yeah.
But you should get both sides of the conflict.
Yeah, got both sides. Like he was saying, even though they showed Iron Man's side showed and it explained their point, and I saw it, I'm like, but yeah, it's the same thing, Captain America. Like,
Also down the character level, they did a really good job. Even though there is tons of characters in this movie, they did a really good job of showing each character's motivation for choosing the side they did.
Yeah, they did that really well. Okay, so I guess that was your spoiler-free portion. So, spoilers! Let's get into Spider-Man, because Lonnie's not going to wait much longer.
Spider-Man!
So, kind of how much I am just this big Batman fanboy, and I just love everything and anything Batman. So, that's Lonnie with Spider-Man. So, Lonnie, tell me what you thought of Spider-Man.
Freaking love Spider-Man. Like, finally, Sony's not fucking up this Spider-Man. Like, when we first saw him as Peter, and just the interaction when Peter saw Stark come into the apartment, or the house, or wherever they're at, and he's, like, kind of stuttering, like, kind of star-studded. He's like, like Peter. Like, Peter is not that, like, he's just not overconfident. So, so the interaction between those two was awesome. So so far, I like how they portrayed him as Peter. And then when he was in the freaking Spider-Man, and doing his thing and swinging around, talking trash, and then when Falcon's like, look, I don't know if you've been in a fight. There's usually not this much talking.
That was good.
That was awesome. Like, so everything that he was doing was just what Spider-Man does. And he's, hell, if he's getting hit or getting his ass whooped, he's talking shit. If he's not, if he's, like, beating somebody's ass, he's talking shit. So he's always, but there's always that sarcasm and the, trash talking or whatever.
Also, I thought that it was great how just explaining his equipment.
Yeah.
He made his equipment, but then again, he still needed help from Tony Stark to get his suit right.
Yeah.
And Tony Stark gives him a suit, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, he invented the web and all that.
I love that because in the other ones, it's like, okay, so it starts off in some kind of pajama-looking outfit, so all of a sudden this retro, nice looking freaking costume. Like, where do you get that material from? Like, you know,
Yeah.
where's this coming from?
And the webs
How do you
came
make
out
it?
of his fucking hands. Come on now.
Yeah, well,
That's
the
not how
Amazing
that went out.
Spider-Man's.
Well,
He made what
I
shit.
kind of
Yeah.
okay. On that, I could kind of see, because if you have the abilities of a spider, why can't you shoot web like a spider? I mean, yeah, it didn't come out of his ass, but you know, it came out of his wrist.
But
That's
the
one
original
thing.
stories,
But-
he made the web
Yeah,
stories.
and the reason he did that was to show how smart he was.
He's
He
intelligent.
can make that web and how strong he can make it. So you know, so I like that they went back to that. I like how this kid was smart, but working out of stuff he found in the trash, like and you know, and Stark knows that. So when they broke down, like, you know, I have somebody to help us out, and he's like, I do too. And then when they showed freaking the Queens across the screen, I was like, oh shit, I was all giddy.
Yeah,
I was like,
when they showed Queens, me too. I was like, oh, Spider-Man.
Jeez. Yeah, so stole the show for me. That was
I'm sorry, but Spider-Man said, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
I
fun.
loved it. I loved it.
Me personally, I like Spider-Man. He's not my favorite Marvel character, but he's up there, like top 5 probably. I'm gonna run down the previous Spider-Man movies real quick. Spider-Man 1, good. Spider-Man 2, really good. Spider-Man 3, god awful. Amazing Spider-Man, yeah. Amazing Spider-Man 2, garbage. So, Spider-Man in this movie, or let's just say Captain America: Civil War, is the best Spider-Man movie you will ever see. And he's in it for 20 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
Like more than I thought he would be. It wasn't just a glorified cameo.
So I'm glad that the trailer spots weren't it. That
Yeah,
there was
yeah,
more
yeah.
to it. So
Like you said, I loved when he walks in on Tony Stark in the apartment, and because to him that's a fucking celebrity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, oh, what? And he was stuttering, and his portrayal, and like the other movies tried to make him talk shit why he was fighting, because that's kind of a thing with Spider-Man. It came off as forced for almost all those other movies. Even I thought in the Amazing Spider-Man it was a little bit better, but it still wasn't quite what it never felt natural.
right. Yeah.
This though, seeing him swing around and when they were fighting and he was talking smack or just being impressed with everybody else's powers and being
Yeah.
like legitimately just happy he's there, that just
Dude, that's
screamed
awesome.
Spider-Man to me. So I think if you're a diehard Spider-Man fan, then you're really, really gonna dig this portrayal. And if anything, I was happy with Spider-Man: Homecoming and it being in Marvel's hands, but this got me way more excited
Yeah,
for Spider-Man.
totally
Is that
excited.
pretty fair?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Also, I'm really surprised how much screen time they gave every character.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. There's a lot.
The way they shot everything was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you can take any other movie with that many characters or even approaching that and give all the characters solid screen time.
Stuff to do.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, because like some characters were featured more than others, obviously, but like Scarlet Witch, I thought she was gonna have a scene, but no, like she's in the movie. Like they're all in the movie.
Well, Vision.
Okay, like Vision too.
How much time did he get? I
Yeah.
mean, a lot, which was really good.
Yeah.
I like to see Vision,
Yeah,
doing
more
his
things.
thing. Actually, especially more than the last movie. 'cause
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
Came at the end.
came at the end, but
Quick casting note. I want to throw props out to Marvel Studios. I never thought I'd want to fuck Aunt May. So
Oh,
mission
jeez.
accomplished. If that's what you were trying to do. So great actress.
Marissa Tomei.
Okay, so fuck it. Let's just keep rolling. Let's get into the climax, or what was really the climax. The
Are we still
airport
talking
battle.
about Aunt May?
I already have my climax.
Didn't even catch that. It's right over my head.
Crazy.
Like I'm in newscaster mode, so like I was like, okay, so let's talk about the airport battle. Giant man, holy shit.
Oh yeah.
Here's what's annoying though. I knew that the giant Ant-Man was gonna happen, not because it had been leaked or not because it had been shown. Like they did a great job keeping that under wraps. But a freaking Lego set came out that had giant Ant-Man, and it was all over
Oh,
the
yeah,
news.
products,
And I was like,
yeah.
oh thanks.
God.
Fucking
How
ruined it.
smart are you guys?
But like it was still great. It was still awesome to see. I loved.
Paul Rudd. Though.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, he was awesome in that.
That's one thing. The movie immediately, to me, not that it was bad, but got better and more interesting the second Ant-Man and Spider-Man got on screen.
yeah.
Because their wit and their humor and just hearing them talk shit or whatever. And I like how Iron Man was like, does anybody else have like this amazing untapped power that we've never seen before? Like, or however he said it. What did you guys think? What did you take away from the airport fight?
well, Paul Rudd leading up into that was really, really good.
Mhm.
Genuinely funny
Mhm.
scenes. Didn't feel forced at all.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the fight scene was, how long was that? That
I
was,
don't know.
cares?
It went on
It
for
was
a while,
great,
but it was
man.
good.
it was awesome.
We were talking about it earlier, the part where Paul Rudd's like, and I'm still shaking your hand for way too long.
No, and then like he's so starstruck, and then he's like, "Oh, Scarlet Witch, you're great too." But
yeah,
I know
but
you're
this is
America.
Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How about
exactly.
when he got his shield back?
Yeah.
Here you
Yeah.
go, Captain America.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was
Did
funny.
he salute him too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spider-Man did.
Yeah.
When Ant-Man got the shield back, though, the way he handed it to him and said his full name.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go, Captain America.
Like again, he's just so happy to be there.
Oh, he was.
And then when he turned to Giant, though, everything he did was funny. Like he says, "So have you tried it before?" Yeah, a lot of times. Well, once in the lab, and I fainted. Like it's like,
Well, then when he was doing it, he's like, "I hope this doesn't rip me apart. Please don't rip me apart." You know what I mean? Like, there's legitimate
man.
here. Like that fight scene was good. That really felt like a comic book fight
Oh, totally.
more than a lot of other movies. Like it felt like I was flipping pages. You know what I mean? And it was great because they managed not only to choreograph really great fights. Because I think part of the fun about being a nerd isn't talking about hero and villain fights. It's like, what hero would win? Nah, you're wrong. You know what I mean? So watching that was great, but they still managed to weave in really good dialogue and like really good like jokes and
the dialogue was excellent. I mean,
Yeah.
it was Spidey, Ant-Man, but everybody had like their little parts where they had some kind of something that made you laugh or even snicker, like because of what they said. You know, it just the fight scene was awesome. There was again Spider-Man. Sorry, but I got it when he was wrapping up the legs and he was talking about.
yeah.
Did you guys see that old Star Wars movie?
Yeah.
They're like, how old is this kid? It's like,
well, you know what's great about that is
oh, we get it.
I was just wondering, like, he was able to say Empire by name, but then wouldn't talk about the AT-ATs or Hoth. Like, he was saying, oh, those big walking things on that snow planet. And I'm like, is that a copyright thing? Like, you can't throw those names? Like, it's all fucking Disney.
You already,
like,
well,
you
you
own
already said
everything.
Empire Strikes Back.
Well,
You
that's
know?
but, like, Disney owns Star Wars
Well, yeah.
and
Oh,
Marvel.
yeah.
I'm like,
I think
Yeah.
maybe they did it because that's what a young kid that
He wouldn't know,
Movies,
yeah.
doesn't know
But
what
if
they're
that,
called.
Yeah.
if that actually was the case, that's some writing judo right there.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
awesome.
and he
If he
didn't
thought
even
about
say
that
Hoth,
much.
did he?
Yeah.
He
No, he
said
said
that
Ice
frozen.
Planet.
Yeah.
Ice
whatever,
Planet,
yeah.
yeah.
And that's where it's great. They're like, to Tony talking, like, how old is this kid? He's like, well, he's on the younger end. I didn't freaking card him or whatever he says.
Well,
Like, that was
I just
great.
imagine the writer for that scene was just like, okay, here you go. This is Spider-Man doing his thing, and they're like, no, copyright.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't worry about it. I got it.
He's like, no, it's actually
It's
funnier
fine.
this
Whoa,
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. When we're talking about the fight scene, the whole cinematic part where when they started, we're gonna fight, and they're slowly walking.
God, yeah,
then they
no.
start jogging a
That's
little bit.
That's-
then they run,
You're
and
not
then they
stopping.
pan to the
You're
whole thing. And here's these guys flying up and stuff,
And they just
exactly
smash.
like you would
Boom.
picture it in a comic book.
That's-
It was amazing.
Yeah, the slow walk up.
Yes.
Totally.
Oh God, that was amazing.
great.
Yeah.
Um,
If it would have sucked, we would have blasted it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, it didn't suck.
No, I'm gonna watch something that sucks pretty quick because we're getting a lot of.
We
So,
really
okay,
do, don't we?
to be devil's advocate a bit, clearly I didn't like it as much as you guys did. It's not that I thought anything was particularly wrong with it, but they give me shit because after they know if I really love something or not. Like, if Lonnie asked me if I liked a movie, and I'm like, oh no, yeah, it was really good. He's like, well, you didn't like it. I'm like, what the fuck? I just said it was really good. Because I tend to get really excited about
Yeah,
things.
really excited, animated, like you know when you like something.
I liked this. This
When we're
was a
sitting
great
there and
movie.
the credits are rolling, we're waiting for the after credit scene. We're like, did you like it? Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I didn't say alright. I said it was good
No,
because they
it
were
was good, but that
they're
was it.
going nuts. Like, oh, that was so awesome. Oh, that was amazing. What'd you think? I was like, oh, it was really good. Like, he didn't like it. I'm like, I didn't say I didn't like it. You know, okay, here's
Well, we're just saying you didn't need a towel after this movie where you did after Dawn of Justice.
yeah. And so again, a part of that might be. I was talking to Lonnie about this in the car. Was he's such a big Spider-Man fan. I've seen a great portrayal of Spider-Man in this movie, which the movie was probably gonna be solid anyway, but really just pushed him over the edge.
Yeah.
That's kind of what happened to me in Dawn of Justice with Batman. Seeing like my definitive Batman finally really makes me just not care about any other flaw in that movie. You know
so
what I mean?
you were hoping for Hawkeye.
For Hawkeye.
By the way, on that though,
I
they
don't
actually
even get the
did.
joke. What do you mean, Hawkeye?
I was not fucking with you.
Because you're a sucker for anything with a
Anyway,
horror.
but actually, Hawkeye, they showed him better than the previous movies.
Yeah.
He actually used his brain. How he trapped Vision and everything.
Yeah.
With
Well,
the
I
arrows.
also love
And he
his
made a
relationship.
distraction, and he knew that he wouldn't fall for it. He
Yeah.
shot right back. Yeah, it was
like,
great.
Looked like you missed this one.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
made you look.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And I love his relationship with Scarlet Witch because
Yeah.
at the Battle of Sokovia, he's the one that gave that awesome fucking speech
Yeah.
about if you walk out that door, you're an Avenger, and then
Yeah.
she comes out money shot.
Oh,
And in this, he's like, "Well, get off your ass," and she's like, "I had to get off my ass." Like,
Yeah.
I like that he's like the bigger brother to her.
Yeah.
For
Where
some reason.
in Age of Ultron, which I did watch,
Finally.
yeah, they at first he was the one gunning for him. You know, they were fighting each other when her and her brother were under the throes of Ultron, and then Hawkeye was like, well, we got to take these guys down, and then he realizes what's going on and is the one that actually gets her into being.
I like that they kept touching on that.
Yeah.
Also, in the airport fight, we got lots of great character moments, like between Black Widow and Hawkeye.
Yep.
What'd you guys think of that little
That
dialogue?
was a good play. That was just the way they like. Yeah, we got to fight now, but we're still kind of like this.
We're still best friends.
Yeah,
Yeah,
best
that's right,
friends.
they didn't
How hard are you gonna hit me?
Well, Scarlet Witch comes in, she's like, you're pulling your punches.
Yeah, like, come on, buddy.
That was
What are
pretty
you doing?
cool.
Also, like, the conflicts between, or not the conflict, but the relationship with Hawkeye. Like, what would pull Hawkeye out of retirement? It's Captain America
Right.
needing some help, you know what I
Right.
mean? And I think it did a good job of showing that they all are still friends, but they're all just on opposing sides of this fight.
Right.
So, like, you could tell they probably weren't out for blood or anything like that.
And how you made the joke that even though he's going to go do this very deadly thing,
Mhm.
he made the joke about the kids at home are kind of pissed off because he didn't take them on the wave runners
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. Friendly man. Yeah, so one thing that was really cool too is I liked how, you know, the comics Scarlet Witch and Vision are a thing. And I liked how they were doing little subtle kind of nods to that, or it's
Yeah.
like that's setting that up. Makes sense now?
Yeah, it does make sense now because
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I noticed there was
Like, they
something
got
going
married in the
there,
comics, yeah.
but I had no idea that
That's
they
what it
had
was.
got married.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know that either, but I could tell, especially when Tony's like, what happened here? I got distracted. He's like, I didn't think that could happen. He's like, me neither.
And I
So-
saw Elizabeth Olsen, and who blames him?
Ew.
But
Well, hey, what about when she, like, pretty much sent him to hell? Like, when she used her powers
Oh,
against
yeah.
Vision?
She didn't
Like,
enjoy
people don't
doing
realize
that.
how strong she is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
seriously, like, she sent him through, I don't know how many
Because she
levels
doesn't
of
show it
freaking
very
building.
often when she
No,
does.
right.
because
it's
she's still
like,
learning
whoa.
to control her power, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, she was
Well,
able
if
to
you
mess
think
with that
about
gem, too. Did you see that? When she, like,
Yep.
yeah, so...
She was relatively still, as the movie took place, she's still relatively new to her powers.
Yeah.
You know, it happened at the first battle, the Avenger battle, right?
In Age of Ultron?
Yeah.
Age of Ultron.
Yeah, so it's been
Pretty
roughly a
beginning.
year
Yeah.
that
So
she's had these
she's
powers.
still
Because
new
it's
to
real
it.
time, so...
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and so that's what I took from that is that she's still learning her powers and all. But I was having a conversation with a different friend of mine, and we were talking about the teams, and he was like, "Well, who's gonna take Vision?" I'm like, "Well, Scarlet Witch. Like, if they do that
Yeah.
right, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because nobody gets her power." Also, this is pretty funny. We were in the theater, and all of us were sitting together, and we're like, "Whose team are you on? Whose team are you on?" I don't know why I was like doing that. So I looked at my girlfriend, and I'm like, "Whose team are you on?" And she's
Oh,
like,
God.
"No," and then she's like, "Whose team is Thor on?" And I'm like, "Thor's not in this movie." And she's like, "Well, then I'm fucking Switzerland, motherfucker." Like, I'm in the middle. That was pretty good. But I thought, and I kind of thought this way about Age of Ultron too. Some of the best moments to me were just the Avengers hanging out and talking.
Yeah.
Like just seeing Vision trying to cook Wanda some food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just seeing them hang out and talk. Like I thought one of the best scenes, if not the best scene in Age of Ultron, was the party where they were all just hanging out. You know what I mean?
On Age of Ultron. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
like-
he makes the hammer move. And,
Yeah. Stanley gets drunk and shit. So yeah, I like those moments. I'm like, I get it's a big action movie and it has to keep going, but I wish we got more of just them hanging out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, I have to say real quick, just to stay on what you said, I did love the fact that in Age of Ultron, when Stan Lee was getting drunk and he says Excelsior, that was awesome. Just throwing that out there.
yeah.
What
did-
is
what
one
did he
with
call-
Stanley?
how do you say it?
He has a package. He's like, is Tony Stank?
Tony Stank.
Tony Stank here? And then Rhodey just goes with. He's like, oh yeah, I'm not letting that one go. It's
Yeah.
like, whoa.
Table for Tony Stank.
And again, as with this movie, for some reason you can't make a 3-hour long movie. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
Yeah,
I
who
want
cares?
as much as you can fit into
I
it.
think they're gonna
Just
get
do
longer
it.
because these. I mean,
That was just 2 hours, 28 minutes.
so
Is that what this one was?
Yeah. Dawn of Justice was 2 hours, like 31 minutes.
Yeah.
So. But okay, so on that, I
Right.
got to be that asshole. Yeah. I did feel like this movie was a little long. I felt like it bogged down for me in scenes when they had fucking Zemo, apparently is his name, and he's setting up his whole ploy, what you think is the other Winter Soldiers, which that was interesting enough. But I felt like every time a movie went to him, it just slowed down for me dramatically. Like not enough to ruin it, but there was like I was conscious of the time. Like I was literally thinking sometimes like, okay, can we get going? Like I know like shit just blew up, but now I'm really bored. Like can we move on to something more? And it's not even like it was him, I think, and that whole thing slowed the movie down for me. Like, I'm fine with just dialogue,
Yeah.
but that I felt was
Well, it was
a
a
little...
real change of pace because you went from action sequences
Yeah, it was...
and witty humor to something that's very serious.
It was very abrupt, the
and
change.
he has to go through and find the things that he finds
Yeah.
and set up everything. So it takes a
Yeah,
long time.
and that's fine.
And it's necessary.
It was,
has
and
to
it
be
was.
there.
And again,
Yeah.
and this is a nitpick of what was a great movie, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it did have a little bit of pacing issues. Just on my end. They clearly don't agree with me.
Hey, I think the story really needed Zima in it.
Zemo.
One other thing,
Had to throw that out.
another little nitpick, Crossbones dies, spoilers, and like I'm kind of a little pissed about that because I like Crossbones. I think he's a pretty badass villain, and I would like to have seen him be like a recurring thing, not just against Cap, but against Punisher and like other, MCU heroes.
Yeah.
So like when he just dies, I was
It
like,
takes him out of the picture
well,
for
because
other
they
things.
set up Winter Soldier at the end so good that he's going to be Crossbones. You're like, hell yeah, he's going to be in Civil War, this is going to be great. And literally, it's the opening fight, and he's just dead, and you're like, I mean, not a lot of Crossbone fans out there, I don't think. So, like, not a lot of people are going to be pissed. But it was another little thing that I was just like, well, I would have done that different. But again, didn't ruin the experience of what was a fantastic fucking movie, right?
Yeah.
I didn't think it ran too long.
That's fine.
Or I mean, I didn't get the dead spots that you kind of got. I thought that it was a necessary evil, but I'm able to, when I watch a movie, where we differ is, if I'm enthralled in a movie, I'm not going to be like, yeah, well, this is a little slow. I judge it on the whole thing. Did I feel halfway through the movie that, God, can we end this now?
No. I didn't.
You
I
know
was
what
not.
mean?
Yeah, I get you. And I was not at that point at all.
Oh, I get that.
I was just very much aware of the abrupt speed ups and slowdowns of it. And you're right. With a very good movie, like everybody in the world is saying that Dawn of Justice had pacing issues and was too long, and I'm like, no, that movie was fucking perfect and brilliant and da. And again, because the movie as a whole was so good to me,
Exactly.
like I don't care about any of that.
And I feel the same way about Dawn of Justice, but I also think that this movie did the same thing.
And that's fair because it was a
Yeah.
fucking good movie. It was really good, right?
So,
Go ahead.
one person we didn't talk much about was Falcon. I kind of like how they show Falcon. He progressed more. The stuff he's doing
getting
with his
better.
he's getting better with what he's doing. His flying, he, like, puts his wings in, falls for a little bit, puts his wing like goes close to the ground where he like swoops back up. Like all this stuff he's
When
doing.
he
And then
hit
his
the
little
rotor of the helicopter,
Mhm.
yeah,
like one second he has his wings fully extended, the next second he's a ball,
right.
hits
Yeah.
the rotor, and then bam, back out
Brings
again.
him out. He uses him as a shield. Takes
Yeah.
him out, puts him in front,
I
like,
love that. Even like he had it behind him as a shield as he's doing shit.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that
And then
was
he had
good.
that little thing that he with that
Oh,
drone or
yeah, the
whatever.
drone,
The
yeah.
little
He told
RC
Scarlet
drone.
Witch- He told Scarlet Witch, not Scarlet Witch, but Black Widow. He told her to pet it.
Yeah,
Go ahead, pet it.
That's right.
She's like, I'm not calling. I'm not talking to that.
I'm not
thing."
thinking it.
Yeah.
He forgot the name, but he actually has a name for it, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you could tell they want you to like Falcon a lot more,
Yeah.
and that's good. Like he was being a lot more awesome. In
The
this
interaction with Bucky and Falcon, and even after Spider-Man like has them all webbed out, and then Falcon sends that little drone
Yeah,
to take
yeah,
out Spidey,
Spider-Man.
sends him out somewhere, and he's like, "You couldn't do that earlier." And Falcon's like, "I hate you." Like, they just
Oh,
have-
Well,
God.
and then like before
When
that,
Bucky
when he was
said
just
that, I
like, "Can
really
you
hate
scoot
you."
the seat forward?" And he's like,
No.
"No," and then he just like slides. Like that was hilarious.
It
Yeah,
was hilarious. And then
Yeah.
at one point, you're like, you have all three Captain Americas essentially in
Yeah.
one vehicle. Like, it's pretty cool to see them all together.
Yeah,
so.
because again, in the comics, Bucky,
Yeah.
they all become Captain America at some point. I also want to point out, knew nobody would die. Called it. Just saying that because there's lots of speculation of whether like Captain America die, would fucking Rhodey die, or somebody was gonna die. And as I said in a previous video, until those contracts are up, nobody's dying. Sorry, internets. That's just the truth.
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler, nobody
See, I
died.
thought whatchamacallit was it Chris Evans? I thought he was done with being a Captain America. So
He
that's
was.
why I thought he was.
He was,
they're
but
gonna
he
let him
keeps
die.
renewing. He keeps
Okay.
re-upping.
Did
Yeah.
he? So he actually renewed before
He-
this movie was
I
released.
don't know if it was before this one, but his original contract was only for 4 movies.
Yeah.
And the way they word it, it's not 4 Captain America movies, it's just 4 movies wherever we want to put you. So
Okay.
he was up with his original contract a while ago, and he was saying for a while he wasn't going to re-up, but
Sure.
he did, because Disney's just like, money!
Yeah, here's
Jeez.
more money.
I thought that he was. I thought for sure that he wasn't doing any more
Yeah.
movies. But for some reason, I thought he said he wasn't going to do that. So based off of that, I was like, it would make sense for them to kill Captain America.
Well, you know
in
what-
this movie.
You know what'd be cool? One, I do love the fact that they have established the Winter Soldier and Falcon as viable people that can take up the mantle when it happens.
Right.
But in the current version, well, the reason why Wilson is Captain America is because Steve basically lost the super soldier serum. I forget how, but it got like sucked out of him, and then he just aged to like 90 instantly. They should do that. Like that'd be cool. Because then, if you could ever get Evans to come back, he can get his powers back. You know what I mean? For like a down the line movie. But that'd be cool. Like you don't have to kill him. I just want to see him rapidly age so fast. That'd be great.
So
Kind of like
how,
Wolverine.
Yeah. No, wait, what?
Remember?
I was waiting
Every
for that.
second.
No,
things out of
shut
his-
the fuck up. That's why I didn't catch it, because I deleted that shit from my brain. Here's what's fucking annoying.
Also,
here we
No
go.
Wolverine
Here we go.
was a great
It
fucking
was,
movie.
it was.
That was like a hard 9, damn near a 10 for 3/4 of that fucking movie, up until he kills what's her face's dad. Says I'm the Wolverine,
Silver
pulls
Samurai?
his sword out and fucking lightning hits. That was good. You would have ended there. Perfect. But no, now we gotta go to the fucking ninja town and have a bullshit fight there. Have a bullshit Iron Man wannabe silver samurai that can cut adamantium, which is fucking horseshit, and just suck it out of his bone marrow or some shit and make like him go younger.
hey.
Like what the fuck are you doing?
hey.
Did you know we're doing the winter or
We're doing
Civil War?
So let's get back.
Just
to
So back to Civil War. One thing I want to talk about is the Black Panther. He
Yeah.
was really cool. You're ruining my epic transition there.
Oh, sorry,
Pretty
man.
good.
Black Panther was really cool, and it was funny for me. I'm a little bit older than these other guys, so when I was a kid,
I like hearing that.
yeah, I know you do. Black Panther was one of my favorite characters.
When you were a
from-
kid growing up in the 70s in Brooklyn?
Yep, not Brooklyn. Actually, the hardcore town of Marysville, Washington. But anyways, I digress. I was a big fan of the Black Panther, and then for years, other than looking occasionally at older comics, I never even thought about him. And then when I heard he was coming back, my first thought was, they better not fuck it up. But they didn't. They did a great job with
Well, I
this.
think along with you, Wesley Snipes' favorite character in the comics was Black Panther. For the longest time, he was trying to get the rights for Black Panther because he wanted to make a movie on his own.
Yep.
So over and
That
over,
would be
he
cool,
kept
too.
trying to get Black Panther as a character so he could do the movie. And at one point, he was going to make some kind of movie that was sort of like Black Panther, but he scrapped that or whatever. So, last I heard, Marvel had approached him with doing something in the Black Panther movie. I don't know if that's still on the table, but
I'm okay with him being Blade again. Because Blade 1 and
He's-
2 were fucking
he
great.
said he wanted to do another one. So real quick on Wesley Snipes. So in Expendables 3, when he came back, he looked kind of haggard. He hadn't been in acting for a while, so he's kind of looks rusty, kind of. I saw him in a show called The Player, and there was a fight scene in there. And in that fight scene, like that guy is back to shape, back to what he was doing in Blade. And I know they're choreographed fight scenes, but
No,
he,
but
like,
he's a legit martial
yeah,
artist.
I
though.
know. And
He
it
was
looked like
always
the
a
movement
beast.
was fluid. Like, and so when he said he wanted to do one more Blade, and then when Marvel approached him about something in Black Panther, I'm like, I could totally see it. Like I think he's at that point where he's ready.
And
to
he's a
do
great
that.
actor. I don't care what he does, if he's in Marvel,
Yeah.
I'm for
He
it.
is a good actor too. So,
Fun fact, do you guys know that Black Panther was the first African-American superhero?
no, I did not know that. Well, now you do.
What did you think about Black Panther, Jeremy?
I know almost nothing about Black Panther, aside from little things here and there. But I thought it was great. I
Mhm.
thought just that he was. I don't know if this ties into the original lore, but how he was, like, how he became king,
Mhm.
and he has all these resources, and that's why he has a suit and everything.
So,
I thought it was
yeah.
great.
It was really good, and I'm glad that somebody who doesn't know his lore kind of took that from him.
And also that actor,
Mhm.
really good.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
accent was really good too.
Yeah.
Because that was a made-up accent for the
That
movie.
was?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
Yeah, I
not-
couldn't even tell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
that
did.
was a good accent.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, he was the guy that played Jackie Robinson in the 42
Oh,
movie.
never saw that. Heard it was good.
42?
Great movie.
Yeah,
I
it's-
never saw it. No.
So, Black Panther, he's from Wakanda, which is the wealthiest, most technologically advanced nation in the world, the Marvel Cinematic world.
Okay.
He's a genius. Think of him kind of like an African Batman. You know what I mean? And their tech is so advanced that, like, he's basically going to have all kinds of, like, gadgets and shit like that, too. That's why he was in the jet and all that kind of shit.
Okay.
He's really, really smart, really, really badass in fighting, and
He
every...
stole that jet. That wasn't.
Oh, was that did he steal
I
it?
thought he stole
He was
it.
just
One
in a
of the
jet. I
jets.
assumed it was his jet.
Well, actually, from knowing nothing about Black Panther, and then they actually did a really good job of feeding you that information
Yeah.
without just shoving it down your throat. Like, I knew that he was from a wealthy country that because of the ore that they had in the country, and yeah, anyway. So.
Yeah, go ahead.
And the way he talked about how, when he was explaining, I can't remember, I think maybe it was the Black Black Widow they was talking about how there's been a Black Panther protecting that country for generations.
Yeah, that's
and that's
the
the war.
chieftain or the king
Right.
is always the one who assumes the mantle.
Yep.
And the cool thing about it too is when you get endowed with the powers and all that, you get the knowledge and memories of every chieftain that's ever come before you.
Oh.
So he has like
Oh.
generations.
Oh,
of
that's
knowledge
badass.
behind
I
him
didn't
also.
remember
wow.
that.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's pretty dope.
Was that with that ring he put on? Or
Yeah,
just
I
something else?
think so. I'm not exactly sure, but I know he somehow gets the powers, and I know that's what enhances him
makes
to
sense.
superhuman strength and
Mhm.
speed,
Yeah.
and agility, senses, all
So I
that.
want to know. I'm thinking, okay, so whenever Bucky would, like, his arm would get next to Black Panther's armor, like, is it because of the vibranium? Because isn't Bucky's arm, wasn't that vibranium
I
also?
don't know if it was vibranium
I
or not.
believe they made it vibranium, and even the shield.
If it's
When-
holding up
when-
to Cap's shield and Iron Man's armor, I'd imagine. it's
Yeah, and,
vibranium.
and even the shield when it came up against Black Panther, there's a moment
You
where
know,
it does
he
this
scratched
weird.
it?
Yeah, he could scratch it. There's this weird like vibration thing, like it almost didn't.
Mhm.
Like he almost, it was like a reverse
Mhm.
magnetism or whatever. That's what it seemed like it was doing. So.
Mhm.
Well, I noticed when he put the ring on because he was messing with it, and then because he was still destroying crap
Mhm.
when he wasn't even in a suit.
Oh yeah,
when
he
they were
was-
fighting in that
yeah.
one
He
spot.
very
On the
much-
stairwell.
He,
Yeah, yeah,
he could have took Winter Soldier in that fight
Yeah.
if he didn't get away.
Yeah,
I
they were
think hands
brawling.
out of the suit.
Yeah,
And
that
in the
was pretty
suit,
badass.
which especially the suit looked fucking amazing,
Right.
It looked like
Yeah.
the detail in it. It looks great.
Right now. But anyway, like there was a reaction even when the shield was close to Black Panther's armor. So I'm wondering if the vibranium is having like if that's the reaction they have when they're too close to each other.
Yeah, I'm not sure if his arm's vibranium or not, but just the fact that it holds up against Iron Man
Yeah.
and Captain America stuff makes me believe that it probably is.
Right.
Also, arm getting chopped off was
Oh
dope.
jeez, the
So-
shot from
yeah,
God.
that's-
I thought he was done because he was digging in, and then that shot I thought it was just gonna like maybe the hand, but the whole freaking arm.
I didn't even think it was gonna sever anything, so like
Jeez.
that was pretty crazy.
God.
Well, how much stronger is vibranium than any other metal in that
Supposedly,
universe?
okay, so here's where so in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right, adamantium is the strongest thing. Vibranium is a close second. Okay.
Okay.
Now, since adamantium is owned by Fox, it's not in the MCU. It's vibranium. Like Captain America's shield's supposed to be adamantium. Ultron's supposed to be made out of adamantium, but they can't use it. So they use vibranium in the MCU as kind of its replacement, right? So
Okay.
vibranium, though, in the comics or in the movies, it's supposed to be indestructible. It's supposed to be damn near like it's stronger than titanium. Like you could do way more. That's
Okay.
why, if you think about it, Cap's shield held up to a shot from Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
That's how strong it is.
Okay.
So and
Makes sense.
vibranium is the chief export that's mined out of Wakanda. So his claws and all
That's where all
that.
his money comes from.
Yes,
Okay.
and that's that's how he's able to scratch it, stuff like that. So.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about this homeboy Zemo again, or Zima, whatever we want to call him,
Zima.
and all his other Winter Soldiers. That was a point that kind of lost me because I felt like they were really building up to a confrontation with them.
Yeah.
Like, how great would it have been to see Iron Man, Cap, and Winter Soldier against 5 other Winter Soldiers? They even showed that great training scene. And then all of a sudden, nothing. Like, clever ruse. Totally didn't see it coming, but I didn't see the Mandarin coming either. Didn't mean it was good. So,
Oh jeez, that was god awful.
so
Anyways, yeah, that if anything out of the movie that I didn't like, that was it. And when it got to that point where they were walking, when Bucky and Cap were walking through the doors, I'm like, oh geez, how long is this fight gonna take? And like, how are they gonna go up against, and then we knew Iron Man was on his way, so I'm like, okay, this is gonna be interesting. And then when they weren't using them, they all got bullets in their head. I'm like, that kind of sucks. So kind of deflated everything from building up that climactic battle. But I mean, they made up for it with what was going on. So
I thought it was interesting that the Black Panther was seeking revenge, and then just makes it to where he doesn't kill himself. He just gathers them instead.
yeah, he's like
And it's like, okay.
the
well,
living are they're not done with you.
Yeah.
So he didn't want him to end his own life. I thought that was cool.
I felt like he was so dead set on vengeance, and you could tell like that's probably something that generations of them have preached, like vengeance, kind of maybe like a Viking type thing in their
Yeah.
culture. And then all of a sudden he's like, I must kill the freaking Winter Soldier. I'm gonna kill the Winter Soldier. Oh, he was brainwashed. Makes sense. All right, gotta get this guy then. You know what I mean? Like,
But-
I felt like he just changed his mind a little too quick.
I think he saw that what vengeance did to Zima. I saw what it did to him, so that made him stop and
Oh,
think.
yeah, that
you know,
was totally
the
the point,
vengeance
yeah.
totally consumed Zemo.
No. my point isn't that he let Zemo live. It's like he's like, I'm gonna kill the Winter Soldier. Now I totally believe that Winter Soldier had nothing to do with that. I'm gonna kill Zemo. Like that was like he didn't even question that.
And
He
vengeance
just-
wasn't really part of his how he was brought up though, because if you remember when he saw the Black Widow, she saw the look in his eye. He's like, that was my father's way. That is not. I'm not my father. I will kill him. So he's like, the vengeance wasn't how
maybe
he
to try him, not try.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's what he. It was driving him,
Yeah.
but he was on that like cusp of being. Excuse me if I got you. The cusp of it consuming him.
Right, but earlier he was
I get
saying
that. That's
how-
not the point of argument, though. Like,
Oh, I know.
I get that totally. I just,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're saying like.
Yeah.
You know, vengeance came down from generation to generation. This is how they were preached, like the Vikings. Like, you know, oh, we're gonna get.
no,
you
you're
know.
right.
Yeah,
it
so
wasn't that. It was
wasn't-
him.
Right, it was just him. That
And
he
I
was
get-
driven, and then he saw, like you said, he saw that
And I-
okay, that he was brainwashed. That makes sense. So it doesn't make sense for
I
me
feel
to go
like
after
he was
this
just
guy.
way too logical for a person that's being driven by vengeance.
Yeah.
Great though. Like, not that wasn't even like a real nitpick. That
But
was
like
just
you said
oh,
earlier,
pretty-
though, if
they're
they,
pretty
they
cool.
get the memories and the knowledge of their like the previous
I guess that,
chieftains,
yeah.
maybe that clicked in too. So
Well, what if it would suck though? If like, say your dad, the chieftain, dies when you're like 15, when you're still a stupid teenager. Not that teenagers are stupid, but then like you get all the knowledge of like all the past generations. They're like, damn, I'm an idiot. Like I don't know a fucking thing. I need to grow up a little bit. But no, so you know what kind of ruined that final battle for me too is like you can tell where Winter Soldier and Iron Man and Cap were at because you've seen that in the trailer, so you know there's like that freaking triple threat match that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, how's that gonna happen if they're gonna fight the other Winter Soldiers? And
yeah,
at that point, I was like, something's gonna mess that whole thing up.
right. And then to see the video brought up, and then when he says an empire can rebuild after it's destroyed by its enemy, but not from within, and
Mhm.
then an empire is dead. And I was like, holy crap! And the video came up, and I knew right there. I was like, that was fucking Tony's his parents. And then it played out, and I was like, oh crap! All
Yeah.
right, here it comes, here it comes.
Yeah, the second they said that, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. acted his ass off in that scene.
He did,
It
he
was
really did.
all facial expression, and the like
Yeah.
surprise and the grief and then the anger, like
Yeah.
just all flowed. Like that was.
That was
He earned his $80 million paycheck for one movie, right?
crazy. And the money shot for me on that one was the freaking Iron Man and Captain America's shield when he was shooting.
Yeah,
it
and I love
Yeah.
because that's like a
flashed.
very
I was like,
that's
oh.
a very famous shot from the comic Civil War
Mm-hmm.
is them doing that, and I like how like I knew they were gonna do it, but I love how they slow mode it
Yeah.
just for us.
Just only
Just for-
for
just
these
for us.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
so
they knew we
it's-
were there
It was
watching.
awesome. Like this is for Vic. Just that was great. Another kind of weird nitpick on my end is I felt like it just kind of ended abruptly though. Like I felt like, you know, they're showing everybody in their cells, and you see that Captain America's gonna come bust them out, and you know Tony's still doing his thing, and Peter's still doing his thing. But like I felt like there wasn't a big resolution of the story. But to be fair, I kind of felt like the comic did that too. Like they just stopped fighting out of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
So I felt like I could have got a little bit more of a resolution, but I also feel like obviously the events of this movie are going to spill into everybody else's movie, and so it's going to be this whole big thing, which I'm fine with. I just felt like it just all of a sudden was credits, and I was like, I didn't know we were done, but okay, that's cool. Anybody else feel that way? Or do you guys
Well,
all thought
also,
it ended?
well, with Ant-Man, right?
Yeah.
You could just take his suit away and then put him like in a regular prison. You didn't need to spend all the money to keep him inside that super
Well,
nice
him
prison.
Yeah.
or Falcon.
Or Falcon.
Like Wanda, I get it.
Or Hawkeye.
Well,
Or
Hawkeye, because you could probably like make a bow like out of paper mache inside of prison,
And
right?
still do it, yeah, right?
Well,
Yeah.
let's be
But-
okay. So I like that they had the
And it
prison.
had like a key on the
I
end
did like
of
that.
it,
Yeah,
and he
the
would
prison.
like.
I was hoping for some I was
42.
looking at the monitors and stuff, and like hoping to see some glimpse of somebody that looks like a villain that might look like a certain
Yeah,
villain without
so-
actually showing them. You know what I'm saying?
Because in the
Like
comics,
Vulture or
what
something.
happens after the
Yeah.
incident, a similar incident happened in the comics that made them have to do this whole thing. It's
Yeah.
different, but it was an incident. And so Hank Pym, Tony Stark, and Reed Richards sit down and they come up with 100 ideas of how to make the world a better place. Number 42, which is this big secret one, is this secret prison, a super prison that they have for supervillains and for heroes. That's what, an alternate dimension or something like that?
Wasn't that on the moon? Or-
It was. They had to go through a portal to get there.
Okay.
So when the prison pops up out of the water, I was like, oh fuck, it's number 42, that's great. And I wanted some little nod to that, even though those two characters weren't in this movie, but oh well. But it's still kind of cool to see that they were
Yeah.
taking that.
It's funny when Ant-Man talks to Stark, he's like, Hank Pym always said never trust a Stark.
Yeah.
He's like, who are you? He's like, come on. It's like,
He, in general, I feel like he almost stole the movie for me because every scene he was in was funny and it was witty, and even like the action scenes were great with him, and like yeah, he was really cool.
yeah, he was.
All right, so I think we touched on everything. Let's do some final thoughts.
Good.
That's your final thought. Is it good?
No, it was a good movie. No, my final one thing I wanted to know and what you guys thought is the basis of what the conflict of the movie is. Should the Avengers have been?
Oh,
had
you want to know if, like, our
I
mind
want to
changed?
know. I, from the giddy up, don't think that the government can dictate how they save the world.
But it's not the government. It's like 120 nations getting together. Typically, when the UN agrees on something, the rest of the world rolls with it because it's
Typically.
Yeah.
it's not one government's interests.
Well,
in
here's
mind
my thing: is
solely.
I don't want to sound. If you want to make an omelet, you have to crack a few eggs. But everything they're blaming the Avengers for, the Washington D.C., New York, Slakovia, whatever it's pronounced.
And the, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
they're saying you guys did that, but at no point do they mention the army of robots trying to
Well,
destroy the world.
it's-
They're not adding any of that to
It's
it.
the Man
There's
of Steel argument when people
Oh,
are
without a
like,
doubt.
he killed thousands. I'm like, yeah, but he saved billions.
Yeah.
exactly.
It's the same concept, but you know what? Governments are always going to use, if this shit were real, they would use that as a way, because they'll be like, oh, the public's fucking scared, and we have to get some kind of control, when really it's probably their own agenda wanting to control them.
Yeah.
I agree, but
And what
if
Cap
it were
said-
just a U.S. thing, I'd say that, but it's everybody. It's like 120 countries signed that thing, so...
Well, but 140 countries are wrong, in my opinion. I'm just.
You know who's got it right?
Yeah.
Fucking North Korea.
I did not
Right,
say
folks. I don't know
that. No. Have you not seen
They're not
that
in the
movie?
UN, I'm just saying. So
Yeah.
you agree
You've
with
seen the
them?
interview?
Great
That's
movie.
what I was gonna say. Are you telling me the
Scene
interview?
with the tiger was great.
That was an epic movie. Anyways,
so-
I believe.
I get what you're saying. I still feel like Iron Man was right. I feel like Captain America made some great points, and I liked how there was people jumping ship to other teams and stuff like that. I still feel like having people that have great power that are not trained and out to go do whatever they want, I still feel like that's dangerous, and that's a liability, and that would always be a liability. We train cops for a reason. We don't just give somebody a badge and gun and send them out to
And
the
I
street.
still think that would be on guys like Captain America who have basic good in them to go out and either police the other metahumans
Mhm.
Right.
or to capture them if they're
So
you know,
a point,
going off
but a
the-
point that Roth made, because
Yeah.
you're saying, yeah, Captain America police them.
Yeah.
What the fuck is Captain America going to do if Thor doesn't want to listen to him?
Right.
Because he makes a point. He's like, do you know where Thor
Thor,
and
Hulk.
Hawk are? Because if I lost 240 megaton nukes, I would
Oh,
get in
without
trouble
a doubt.
too. Because
Yeah,
you're saying
sure,
the
you
rest
make
of
a
them,
true
like, yeah,
point.
there's even Spider-Man.
But that's why you have
but
the
he can't beat
Avengers in
Thor
the
or Hawk
first
in a
place.
fight.
That's why you have a whole group of superheroes because they can meet the big threats, but they also can come and police their own as a group. Because yeah, you may not be able to take out Thor, but maybe if everybody banded together,
They could.
they probably could.
Yeah.
Well, then you have a team like the Avengers, even the X-Men, where that's why you train. You take these people that want to be part of this group and train them.
But that's what the government wanted to do. They just
well,
wanted.
they should do it on their own because, like Cap said, what if there's something going on and they don't want us to go there?
Yeah.
Like, if something's going on in another country where they need to take care of it, and the government's no, we want you, or the nations are like, no, we want you to go
But
over
then
here.
who gets to dictate what they go to and what they don't go to? Like, if you're leaving it up to them, which is what you're saying you wanted to do, that's also dangerous because what if these people now want to do something that the rest of the world wouldn't agree with? Who's going to
But
stop them?
this argument's
they're
also
good
a little
guys.
bit ridiculous too, because you're talking about metahumans going up against governments. Governments, I don't care if all the governments in the world just outlawed it outright. What are they going to do?
Again, but that's the thing. What are they going to
What
do
are
with
they
the
gonna
super-powered ones? Most of the characters in this movie weren't super-powered.
You need people like these metahumans to be on board with your program. If everybody from the start, like Tony Stark from the start, said no, we're not going along with this, what was the government going to do? They could do nothing. They would try to start a war and they would
Yeah.
lose.
And
But
that's-
I
and
feel-
that's why you
no,
have
no,
advanced
because-
beings, the advanced ones that are good, and you have bad. I mean, it's how these universes work. So
That's
I mean,
why
you
if
know-
I was on that committee, I wouldn't even start the process.
Okay,
I'd
but
be
so,
like,
okay, here's the
I would come to them and say, hey, these are our concerns. Maybe you guys should start thinking about where these other metahumans are and what they're doing and try and police it. We're not going to be able to do anything about it. It's up to you guys. This is what we'd like you to do. Do what you will because you're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, I get it. I just, if you were an Avenger and you're on the team and Sokovia Accord was in front of you, you wouldn't sign it still?
Yeah.
After everything?
No.
I wouldn't have.
But we all chose Cap to sign, and you're.
No,
That's
I
why
don't,
we-
my thing is, like, I don't know if I'd sign it or not. Like, I still was Team Iron Man going into it, and I still think he's right, but the problem is, the people doing the controlling are what makes me iffy, and obviously you guys too, which is why you don't want to sign.
Yeah.
And I agree, in their own hands, maybe that's the best way to dictate it, but the rest of the world is scared. So more than anything,
Yeah.
seeing that they all got on board with the rest of the world would give them a little bit of peace of mind. I think is part of the
Well,
problem.
that's why, like, if I was a superhero, I would go to the actual UN meeting and say, hey, we understand your concerns. We're going to take these documents, we're going to see what you guys want to do, and we're going to take care of it. And if you guys see anything, let us know. We'll be after it. You
Yeah.
know? But we're not going to sign our rights away just because you think that, just because you're scared.
Well, and think about it in the real world. Can you honestly tell me that if all the nations had a say in what the superheroes would do, you know, I'm sorry, but the CIA getting a hold of this and saying, "Oh, don't worry about who you're going to go fight and destroy. They're bad guys." Wink, wink.
well, yeah,
trust
well,
me.
that was Captain
you know?
America's point. That's
Yeah,
exactly
exactly,
what would
and
happen.
that's
But I would argue that that would happen more if it was just the U.S. saying, "Hey, we're regulating you guys." But when it's everybody else, it's not one nation's agenda that's going to
It
get
gives
taken
them
care.
a lot more legitimacy.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
guess I
That's
agree
why.
with
That's
that.
what got me was like, well, if we're all agreeing with it, then
Okay.
you know. But you know, on the real, if they don't want to stop, or say it's like Superman, we're like, hey, we got to get together and like get that pesky Superman. Like, what the hell's the world really gonna do? Like, they can't
Yeah.
stop him.
Yeah.
So same thing with this with the superpowered ones. You can't really stop them. Well, most of them aren't superpowered.
And you're wrong.
No. I'm
It's gonna take all three of us.
Yeah, I hate to tell you. Yeah, I hate to tell you, but Iron Man admitted he was wrong.
doesn't
Yeah.
mean I don't still think he was right.
Hey, Spider-Man. I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there.
So any other final thoughts before we wrap up? Anything else you want to say that was just
What about
totally
the,
stood out to you?
the after credit scenes.
Oh. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
So you didn't see the one. It was basically Cap takes Winter Soldier to Wakanda with T'Challa, and his arm's like, you know, not repaired. He doesn't have a new one, but it's like bandaged and shit. And he's going back under to be cryogenically frozen until which time they can get all that you know,
Time.
programming and stuff out of him. So that was pretty cool. It also panned away and showed like partly what Wakanda looked like.
Well, yeah, because Cap says, "Do you know if they find out he's here, what will happen? They'll come after him." And he says, "I'd like to see him try."
Yeah.
And then it pans out. You hear the music in the background, the tribal music, whatever. And then it pans out and sees.
Awesome Panther.
So
Yeah.
does he get unfrozen to help the Panther?
Well, clearly.
Oh, eventually, yeah. Because
Yeah.
Bucky is a
Yeah.
part of. I
He's-
mean,
Yeah.
Well, if his arm wasn't vibrating before, it's gonna be now.
yeah.
And
So,
you guys actually said that Bucky eventually becomes Cap anyway.
Yeah.
So.
So.
eventually, yes.
And then the last credit, you saw the last.
I saw the last
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
With
Spider-Man.
Peter, that was
Yeah.
pretty funny. And I was talking to his aunt about the guy that he fought. He's
Yeah,
like,
he was
he
really
He had a
big.
big friend. He's really big.
Marissa Tomei. Let's just pause for a second.
I was just going to say, I loved how Tony Stark was pretty much like, dude, I'd so bang her.
No,
Yeah,
you
he's
know,
like, yeah.
well, you know,
he was
you know
like,
what's really funny too is when like Peter first walks in on that scene and they're on the couch, and like Aunt May's like, you can tell me that, you know, like mouthing it, like you replied to that or whatever, and like Tony Stark's just like, just go along with
He's
it.
like,
yeah,
he's
and
like,
then
he's
he's
looking
like
at
winking
Win,
at him,
Eric.
like-
and like both like,
He's like, yeah, I totally
it's
did.
okay.
Oh,
So-
and how he stammered when Stark called him on his bullshit
Yeah.
inside his room. He's like,
Yeah.
dude, that's you, right?
No, that's
He's like,
you two.
no,
That's
no,
not me."
no, no.
All right,
He found his
so
hiding place for the suit.
so we liked Civil War. In case you couldn't tell, it was a great movie. You should go out and watch it. The Spider-Man stuff is great. The Black Panther stuff is great. Pretty much everything was great. Like any like reservations you had, you know, throw them out the window. This was a great movie. So Any last thoughts? Are we good?
Good.
No? No? All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on this episode of the world's greatest news and reviews. Come back next time.
See you later.
Later.